I can't hear you.
Go then.
All right. Welcome to this edition of the Native News Update. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories viewed here can be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com or check out our television station online at IndianCountryTV.com. Here are the news stories from the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. The Washington State Supreme Court has unanimously ruled that tribal police can pursue non-Indian motorists outside a reservation if they see a traffic infraction on tribal lands. The ruling says that under state law, tribal police can go beyond their jurisdiction if they're on a fresh pursuit or if there's an immediate threat to life or property. The case stems from an August 2005 incident when a Oneida Nation officer pursued a suspected drunk driver but didn't stop her until they were outside reservation boundaries. The tribal officer held Loretta Erickson until a Whatcom County Sheriff's deputy arrived to arrest her. Erickson was later convicted of drunken driving but challenged whether the tribal officer made a legal stop. A federal judge dismissed a lawsuit that sought to prevent a school district on a South Dakota reservation from imposing a student dress code, saying the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe had withdrawn its support for the legal battle. Two parents who had joined the tribal government in filing the lawsuit said they would likely file a new legal challenge to the dress requirements, which school officials said was adopted to reduce gang-related violence and other classroom disruptions. The Cheyenne Eagle Butte School District imposed a dress code at the start of the school year for kindergartners and 7th and 8th graders. It intends to expand that to all elementary grades eventually. Some parents had complained that they couldn't afford the required clothing, black, white, or tan shirts, pants, skirts, or shorts. The Oneida Nation of New York has bought a cigarette manufacturing plant in western New York and plans to make its own cigarettes. The tribe has agreed to purchase Sovereign Tobacco in Angola, New York for $6.6 million, according to sales documents filed with the federal government. The transaction is expected to be completed by October 2010, Bob Hilberger, a business development director for the nation, said. The nation already runs the Turning Stone Resort and Casino, a dozen save-on gas station convenience stores, a gaming software company, and 5 golf courses. It sells about $34 million of untaxed cigarettes a year at its stores. Sovereign Tobacco produces Niagara and Bishop discount cigarettes that sell for about $30 a carton, about half the cost of taxed name brand cigarettes sold to non-Indian outlets. The American Cancer Society has decided to sever its ties with the Oneida Nation because the tribe has purchased a cigarette manufacturing plant and will make their own cigarettes to sell. We had thought they were making great movement in their tobacco control efforts, but this was a big step backwards, Lisa Smith, Regional Vice President of the local American Cancer Society chapter, said. With all the work we do fighting the tobacco industry, we just couldn't continue to utilize their services. The decision will affect the basketball Syracuse coach Jim Boeheim's signature fundraiser for Coaches versus Cancer. The Black Tie Gala has been held at the Oneida Indian Nation's Turning Stone Resort and Casino for nearly a decade. I guess I'm a little bit surprised, said Boeheim, a cancer survivor who sits on the National Board of Coaches versus Cancer and has raised more than $4 million to fight the disease. The Cancer Society has been critical in the past for holding the fundraiser at Turning Stone because the resort allows smoking and the nation sells tax-free cigarettes. The International Indian Treaty Council and American Indian Contemporary Arts presents the annual Sunrise Gathering on Alcatraz Island on Monday, October 12, 2009. The organizations are inviting everyone to the gathering on Alcatraz Island to commemorate 517 years, that's 1492 to 2009, of Indigenous peoples' resistance to colonization of the Americas and the 40th anniversary of the takeover of Alcatraz by American Indian activists from California and across the country. Everyone is welcome. They will be featuring the International Indian Treaty Council board members Lenny Foster, Dene, and Alcatraz veterans Faith Gimel, Gretchen from Alaska, Radley Davis from Pitt River, IITC Executive Director Andrea Carmen, who's Yaqui, All Nations drummers, Aztec and Pomo dancers, and other special guests with MC Lakota Hardin. This event will be broadcast live on 94.1 FM, KPFA, and kpfa.org from 6 until 8 a.m. on that day. It's October 12th. For more information, contact Morningstar Gali at 415-641-4482 or go to morningstar@treatycouncil.org. The meeting place that morning will be at Fisherman's Wharf, Pier number 31 in San Francisco, and that's an early morning ride to get over there. Early registration has now begun for the 6th annual Pioneers in Alaska Creating Sustainable Communities Conference to be held October 16th through the 18th at the UAA there in Alaska. Get the best rate now. Go to www.sustainaq.org to learn more about the keynote speakers and see the schedule for the Satellite Speakers Conference. Specific workshops, information on work exchange and scholarships will also be featured at that website soon. It says in a notice here, let's support one of our native skaters, Bryant Chapo Navajo, who recently won the Red Bull Mania contest in Los Angeles. And now Red Bull Mania is having an online voting contest for some great prizes for the top skater with the most votes. Bryant not only is one of the 3 best skaters in Indian country, but is fast becoming one of the best skaters out there. He came from a relatively unknown status and won the Red Bull Mania AM series in Long Beach, California for the Los Angeles area session. It says, we know him well in Indian country, so let's get the nation to know him and support this awesome native skater. He's a great role model for all our native youth. Brian is also coming on October 10th with Nibawakawin, the all-nation skate jam crew, Todd Harder with Native Skates, Jim Murphy from the Wounded Knee Skateboards, and Walt Purrier of the Nakota Design, Nakota Dogs movement to South Dakota for some outreach work with Native youth at the Black Hills Wakante Ognaki My Passion Skateboard Tournament, drug-free, alcohol-free, Rocking Indian Country. You can get more information on how to vote at http, and that's redbullskateboarding.com. We'll put that URL here on the front of the panel so you can get back there and vote for your favorite skateboard dude. And that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to thank you for stopping in here, and you come back again soon. Miigwech.